here. Sounds like the first team offense might be in for a quarter. Yes, for the first quarter. Is 9 more points too much to ask for? If they're in for a quarter, I want to see 9 plus. I'd like to see, if they're going to do 2 drives, I would like to see 9 points or 14 points. That's what I'm looking at. I don't want to see just 6 points, 2 field goals. I want to see a touchdown plus. That's what I want to see from all the hype that I have witnessed myself with my own eyes and read about. I want to see this offense go down and score touchdowns because that's all I'm hearing in training camp. That's all I've seen. I want to see it, Rumble. Can't hear Rumble.
I was muted himself.
I muted myself.
There
I
you
apologize.
go.
Yeah, there's no reason why we should. Yeah, there's no reason why we should. There should be some one. There should be a drive that we rip the roof off the place, man. So yeah, I'm right there with you guys, man. We got a lot of weapons that we're waiting to unveil. You know, we got a lot of new toys with this offense this year, and also this O line. We have yet to see this O line, like the full, complete O line. So no reason why we shouldn't score at least 14 points. I need 2 tutties.
What do you think there, Anthony?
I want more. I want 17. I hope that we put 2 scores down. I want to see a turnover as well. I think we're going to bully them. I think our offensive line is going to bully whatever the hell they put out on their defensive line. I mean, Arnold Ebiketie a starter there, and I like him, but he's fresh out of college. He's, got a lot of raw aspects to his game, and he's coming up against, 2 really good tackles. I expect us to maul them, put some points down on them, and I expect the defense, especially that defensive line, to get at Mariota, make him panic and turn it over. So I want to see 17. I'm going to be greedy. These are a bad side, and I want us to put some points up on them.
Lions, what do y'all think about linebacker Anzalone going to do? He seems too laid back for me. I think he's like the veteran guy there. That's really it. That it's not. I don't expect really anything from him regarding some crazy amount of tackles or anything like that. I just expect him to be a guy in there, even though he's probably the number 1 guy right now. That's pretty much what I expect from him. Go ahead, Anthony.
I said this on, I think it was Luke's pod yesterday. I just think he's a placeholder in this team. He's the green dot guy. I think we're training green dot guys behind him, especially Malcolm Rodriguez is in there. Hell, if we made a run at Roquan Smith, which I'd absolutely love us to do, I think he's just there until we develop the guy to replace him, and then he's gone. He is a placeholder, and I don't expect to see much from him this year. If Malcolm develops how we think he should, I know he's only a year 1 guy, but I can see him getting some of that responsibility towards the end of the year, and then the need for Anzalone is gone.
Let me know in the comment section, you guys trade for Roquan Smith, the linebacker from the Chicago Bears, because that's the question here. What would it take to get Roquan Smith as a Lion? 23 second-round pick and Cephas. Ooh, what do you think, Anthony? What do you think it'd take to get Roquan Smith? We're talking about an NFC North trade. That's difficult, first off.
But Brad Holmes pulled it off in the draft. We moved up 20 spots for nothing with Minnesota, and the Vikings are in a bit of an awkward position. I think the Bears are in an awkward position here. They saw what happened when they pissed off A-Rob. He stopped playing for them. He stopped caring because they wouldn't let him go. They wouldn't meet his demands, etc. They ain't going to want this to happen with Roquan Smith. They're not in a good position contract-wise with him. I don't think they're in a position to be calling a lot of shots here. And, if you're their GM, you understand that you're at the start of a rebuild. So why do you care if you make your NFC North rival stronger? You ain't competing for the next few years. Your team's trash. So I think there's a world in which, if the price is right, and I'll always say this, I trust Brad Holmes to trade, 365 days a year. I trust him to not get fleeced. If he thinks the value is too high and that Chicago are trying to rip us off, fine. I trust his judgment. But if there is an opportunity there to get him, even if it is a second or a third, I would do it because how often do young guys like him, he's only 25, he could be in this team 5, 6, 7 years. There's 2 contracts in him there. So he's in our timeline, and anyone who says differently is thinking way too far down the line for this team. So he's in the timeline. He's at a position where we are crying, no, nay, begging for help. It sorts a big problem for us and takes out the risk of the draft. I mean, his rushing presence as well. He does just about everything. He could be big to this team. So if you can get him, do it. If you have to overpay maybe a little bit, do it. Screw the Bears. He will be great on this team.
You take Roquan Smith and you put him in our linebacking. Now I'm very confident that our defense is much improved. You take a position of weakness and you get one of the best in the NFL, and you take away from the NFC North rival.
And the best part is you don't have to rush your rookies into the first team. You don't have to expose Rodriguez and Barnes to all these snaps if they're not quite ready for it. So you can take it easy with these guys. It makes it's win-win-win for us.
Definitely a win-win-win. Unlike the bots here, and the bots are out in force right now. I had to remove these bots. You know how it is. I don't know. It never works. I don't even know why they do this. It never works anytime. We got 100 in the chat. Let's get to 75, like 75. Yes, we started early, Chrome, because why the hell not? I'm trying different hours because I can do it. Figured do it anyways. Rumble, would you trade for Roquan Smith? Let me know in the comment section. Why for yes and for no. Spam it right now, Y's and N's. Would you do it, Rumble?
Yeah, yeah. Again, I'm not going to reach for him. It's clear and apparent that Roquan does not want to be there anymore. So Chicago's going to have to do something. They already know that they're. I don't know if they open the checkbook more. I just think he doesn't want to be there. I think he sees where this team is going. Like Anthony said, he's like, oh, this is going to be buns. I'm not going to waste what could be potentially the prime of my career waiting on a rebuild here. I've seen so many other players do it. So, and I think he would be willing to sign with Brad Holmes just simply because of what we heard from these other players who re-signed with us for another year. Tracy Walker, he said, I could have went anywhere else and made money. DJ Chark, I could have went anywhere else and made money. I believe that Brad Holmes and this regime, if they put together a package that makes it appealing to Chicago, I believe Roquan will be the first person to jump all over it and be like, okay, breath of fresh air, and he gets 2 games to stick it to the Bears. I would be open to that. But again, don't overreach. It's got to make sense.
And he would know the Bears defense too, by the way.
Yes.
You're trading for a guy that kind of understands their defense so he can help out the offense and be like, hey, this is what's coming up. And we're talking about a guy who is one of the best in the NFL at his position. So I think it would be a huge upgrade if the Lions could somehow swindle a deal with the Chicago Bears. Man, I love it. I must say, I would love it. Hashtag Lions, do they try any razzle-dazzle plays first preseason game or keep it in the back pocket? I say they'd keep it in the back pocket. I think they're going to be bland. Generally, that's what you do in the preseason. They don't want to really show anything. You don't want to go all into the playbook and try to show something that you'll use in the regular season. Why? Because winning means nothing. I think it's more, let's be bland and let's just get it by force. And I think that's what we can do there and bully, just like Anthony was talking about with the offense and defensive lines. Nice to hear that the linebackers are progressing, but still wouldn't mind if they brought in a free agent. Think there's any chance that could happen? Wait till the 53s are cut from other teams. That's when I would do it. If they're going to look for a free agent, that is exactly what I think they would do there, is wait for that. It would not shock me at all. They picked up a linebacker. There's no one right now besides you hear of Malcolm Rodriguez that's really doing anything at the linebacking core. That's literally what it is. Even if you're there in person, you're like, what is going on here? You can't see anything. When the final 53 set, which position do you think they keep more players and which position you think would be thinner? I think they keep more players the defensive line position. I think that's something they could do. What do you think, Anthony, about on this one?
I'm kind of with you, Mike. I think you keep more at the defensive line. Obviously, you need more rotation in on there. So I think it's vital that you keep more guys in there. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they went more at wide receiver. I would keep more at wide receiver. I love Khalil Pimpleton. Yep. I love Josh Johnson. I think both of them can offer something to this team and will be picked up if we let them go. So, yeah, again, screw quarterback 3. I'll take an extra wide receiver with me. But, yeah, I think defensive line or wide receiver for me will be the big one, possibly running back.
How long before Pascal is fit? That's another string to our defensive bow. I don't know. There's not much on him. Anthony, it looks like you're about to say something.
No, I was yawning.
Okay, he was yawning. That's exactly what we know. We don't really know anything.
Well, they said that the timeline for his recovery was 3 months, which put it at mid-August. I think August the 16th, but they said he's ahead of schedule. So I think that is, he's going to be training again by mid-August, but he might be training a little earlier. So I think we should see him within the next couple of weeks now.
Matthew's talking about the Roquan Smith. I don't know if he heard what we're talking about here. Look, here's the deal. I would make a phone call, that's for sure, even though it's the NFC North. But we have a massive gaping freaking hole at linebacker, and there's a massive BA linebacker right across to another state in Chicago. It would seem like a perfect fit, but again, it'd be difficult.
You've just got to convince them that the move's right for them both. Yeah. It's like when he made the trade with Kwesi in the draft. He said to him, look, we want this guy now. You're not kind of sure what you want to do. You want another pick. You're a new GM. You like the picks in the draft. Take our extra pick here. We'll move forward. You move back. It's good for both of us. If you do the same with the Bears, you've got an unhappy player there. You've shortchanged him. You've pissed him off. We'll take him off your hands. And in future, you are a rebuilding franchise. You're going to have a bad year. Roquan Smith, no matter how well he plays, ain't going to really do that much for you this year in the wins column. We'll take him off your hands. We'll give you a future pick. You can get your shit together after this year. You've got an extra draft pick then as a GM. You like that. This works for both of us. You just have to... It's stupid not to trade in division if there are benefits for both of you. Us and Minnesota both benefited from trading. So if we can give them the right package for Roquan, which isn't ripping us off, but at the same time is giving us both a bit of what we want, you can do it. And I think Brad Holmes can, put that across to him that, you're going to have a bad year. Take the draft picks, rebuild next year. We'll take your guy now because he's going to accelerate our build here.
Chrome has a great idea. Throw Tim Boyle in there as well. Look, you got a quarterback. He will definitely help our team out when he's on the field. So go ahead and take Tim Boyle. Do it. We'll do it.
Oh, man. That's funny. That's funny.
I don't even think Madden would allow that trade, would he? Madden wouldn't do that grounds on, ethical grounds. It's like, no, you're taking the mick here.
We'll just throw it in there. Anyway, we're going to throw it in there. I think Reynolds surprises everyone. Something about his demeanor I like. Which Reynolds? There's two Reynolds, Josh Reynolds or Craig Reynolds. First, Josh Reynolds had a really good camp this year. He's very underrated. Not a lot of people are talking about him, but he is absolutely having an underrated training camp. He has been dialed in with Jared Goff. And Craig Reynolds, he's having a very good training camp. He's made the team. He's going to be the number 3 running back for the Lions. Today, he was making people miss. And that's exactly what you want to see from him. And he continues to be a player like Netflix, all the way down to Hulu. And who knows, maybe HBO Max is his next one that he will be called, because this guy is making some plays.
Perfect.